with your bread of life. That's how I come alive. That's how I change my world. Father, to join from your spirit to my spirit, I am lighted by your word. And with your breath of life, that's how I come alive. That's how I change my world. Just breathe your name upon me, breathe. Just breathe your name upon me, breathe. YAHUAH is your name, breathe, Lord. Just breathe your name upon me, breathe. Say, Father to joy,
Father to child, Spirit to spirit, lighted by your word.
and with your breath of life,
That's how I come alive.
that's how I change my
That's
world.
how I change my world.
Say, Father to joy,
Father to child, Spirit to spirit, lighted by your word.
with your breath of life,
That's how I come alive.
that's how I change my world.
That's how I change my world. Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe. Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe.
Your day will hate.
Your name will hate is your name. Breathe, Lord.
Just breathe your name.
Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe.
Lift your hands and say, just breathe your name.
Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe.
Hey.
Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe. Your name will hate is your name. Breathe, Lord.
Just breathe your name.
Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe.
Say, Father to joy,
Father to child,
Spirit to spirit,
lighted by your word.
and with your breath of life,
There's nothing better. Ask and you will give. Seek and you will find. There's nothing better than the living God. There's nothing better than the living God. Ask and you will give. Seek and you will find. There's nothing better than the living God. There's nothing better than the living God.
And every righteous vessel shall have and live a healthy life. That was promised. He promised it by a promise.
blow the trumpet in Zion, sound the alarm. This is a war cry. Devil will say no to you over this generation. I shall let the army roar.
Let the armies roar. I can only get that was like, let the armies roar. Hey. Hello, everybody. We're Mark and Kim. I'm so glad you could join us today. On today's program, we are in the book of John, chapter 6. Now, remember, early on, when we started getting in the book of John, we talked about the first 8 chapters. Okay, remember the first 8 chapters that we talked about. So today, we're focused on 6. But I want to say this. I paused for a reason. the philosophy of Christianity is the poison to innocent souls and to the learning of those that are trying to study the word without understanding to research it. And so today we're going to read you a familiar story, and we're going to go through starting at verse, I believe, 16?
15.
15 is where we're going to start. And this is where we left off last week. And we're going to continue there through verse 29. And in there, we're going to preface it by saying, and in there, there's only 2 times that Yahusha talked. The rest, you're going to learn today about the Christian philosophy.
The book club.
The book club, yeah, the book club.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it's going to help you today. So let's get into it. Or you got anything to say? We're so excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. We don't really have to say too much.
Let the armies roar.
We don't even have to really get into any prayer or anything. We just start because that's just how it is. The word is so good. Look, he just
Let the armies roar.
he made up his own beat too.
Hey, I got Stephanie be hitting those beats.
But yeah, the whole point of where we're headed in our land of harvest, I'm gonna always say that we are in our land of harvest. We have built our homes on it, and we are just flourishing in it. And we're free. And we're not tied up in no book clubs. We're not tied up in no philosophies. We're not tied up in people's what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
Oh, we don't get into that.
We're not tied up in none of that. So we're just gonna go ahead and say thank you, Father, for allowing us to come into your courts. And we thank you that as you continue to do what you do, Father, we just thank you that you have rested upon all of us.
All of us.
And our ears are open, and our mouths are ready, and our hands are flourishing. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Glory be to Yah.
Glory to be to Yah for a sweet day.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Again, if you're just not joining us today, we're going to be talking about the book of YAHUAH, chapter 6. And we want to get right into chapter 6 because I got so much to say and I don't want to get it all out right now. But again, remember, we are not philosophers.
Right. We're not philosophers.
This one going to hurt those who are philosophers, right? But this is going to be like, now watch the light go off, okay, you guys? Watch the light go off. Let's get free. Get free more today. Okay, let's go straight to the word. We're going to let the word do all the talking. Let's go right here. Book of YAHUAH, chapter 6. Let's get into it. Verse 15. This is where we left off last week. As you're going to look on your screen, the bottom right, I believe.
Yeah, the bottom right.
Bottom right. Here we go. Okay, bottom right-hand corner here, it says, then, wait, hold on. I was telling you that devil, man, trying to mess my phone. Did you see that?
Wait.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, all right, here we go.
It says, then.
Okay, then, verse 15, it says, then Yahusha, oh my goodness, I can't believe what's coming through my phone. Then Yahusha, knowing that they were about to come and seize him, that they might make him king, withdrew again to the mountains alone by himself. Verse 16, and when evening came, his pupils, or the students, they went down to the sea. Verse 17, and entered into the boat. They were going over the sea towards Kafar, or basically, this is Kafar Kanem. Like you see, it says Kafar and Kanem. This is what we would say Capernaum is what this will say. All right, so let's stop there for a moment, just not to get into the philosophy behind this, but it's about 3 miles apart, this place, okay? And we've been there before, and but it's not that far apart. It's no big deal, okay? It's just telling you, you know, he went to the store, he went to the mall, okay? All right, so let's continue to read. It says, and it had already become dark, and Yahusha had not yet come to them. as they went to the other side. And verse 18, and the sea was rising because it was a great wind and the sea was rising because the great wind was blowing. Okay. I mean, it was just the wind was blowing, y'all. Okay. don't take it more than that. Verse 19, and when they had rowed about 5 or 6 kilometers, which is about 2 miles, almost 2 or 3 miles. I think that this number's a lot. I think it's been inflated because I don't think they rowed exactly 6 kilometers. That would have been 4 miles. I think almost, anyway, the distance between the biggest gap in the Sea of Galilee is not that big. I think it maxes out about 5 miles. But again, no big deal, just a reference, okay? And when they had rowed about 5 or 6 kilometers, they saw Yahusha walking on the sea and coming near the boat, and they were frightened. Okay? I'm not going to stop there and give you a story. And he said to them, it is I. Don't worry about it. He said, it is I. Don't be frightened. Verse 21. And they wished, therefore, to take him into the boat. And at once the boat was at the land that they were going. So in other words, as soon as he got in the boat, they ended up going to, immediately, going to the other side. Now, I want you to notice something in that, what we had just read there. Did you notice at all Yahushua even answering the fact that he was walking on the water?
Nope.
Did he say anything about himself walking on the water? Why didn't he say anything about that? Don't you guys wonder why he didn't say anything? Because it wasn't important.
Right.
And it's not the first time he walked on it.
Right.
So
Right. I mean,
it's not unusual.
Right.
So
it's the first time they saw it.
It's the first time they saw it. And backing up, remember the story last week was the feeding of the 5,000. Do you guys think that was the first time? It's just not normal to them. See, a lot of these things were already happening in the first earth age. Yah walked on water, probably just like you walked on water. Yah fed the 5,000, and it was very common because thy will be done, right? The way he does it in heaven. So it was no big deal for him to bless it and give it to him and it be multiplied. And he never talked about it again besides go get the remaining baskets. There'll be no waste. So that was a common practice in the first earth age, or while we were in heaven with him. He was always multiplying. So it was no big deal. You notice he never talked about it again after that. But these stories begin to unfold in the United States. They became motivated by material gain. And we're going to get into that in just a bit. Okay, so what verse we at?
You're going into 21.
We're in verse 21? Okay. Verse 21. And they wished, therefore, to take him into the boat. And that once the boat was at the land where they were going, verse 22. And on the next day, the multitude that was standing on the other side of the sea saw that there was no other boat except that one which his students or the pupils had entered, and that Yahusha had not entered the boat with his pupils, but his pupils went away alone. Verse 23. But other boats came from Kinnereth, which is Sea of Galilee, near the place where they ate bread after Adonai had given thanks. Okay? And so notice that this is just, you guys, this is just setting the story. Now, what we have experienced is that these stories were like a chokehold to Yah's children before. And remember, in the latter days, knowledge will increase. So this is where knowledge is at. Notice that these events that happened, Yahusha never talked about it. Why didn't he talk about it? Because it's not important.
Right.
Feeding 5,000 was important. Him walking on the water wasn't important. It's just like you getting up, going to the store,
picking up some groceries,
and you use your ATM machine card and you came back and you wrote in your diary, and 500 years from now, I'm making this up.
Right.
Somebody read and go, whoa, what happened when they touched the card? And whoa, but yet you just came home. It was normal things you did.
Right.
So it was very normal for the multiplication of bread, because it was done in heaven at the first earth age. So he was easy. Blessed. Dude.
That's like giving my granddaughter a phone book from when I was growing up to look up all the phone numbers.
Yeah, like here's a phone book. Ooh, phone book or encyclopedia.
Yeah.
And in today's market, you like, what was behind that? Or you was, one day you was holding up 3 things. You threw the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost down because you got 3 different. Philosophy.
Yes.
Christian book clubs promote the philosophy of the walking on the water. Of course, he walked on the water. And Yeshua didn't even talk about the subject. And remember, he says, and they were frightened. And here's what he said. Remember, he got scared, and he said, don't even trip. I'm bringing it to our language. He said, do not be frightened. 2024. Stop tripping. Don't even try it. Because you know how people will try to overemphasize something? Oh, I can see the glory on it.
And because when you think about it, when Peter, that's because Peter was there when he transfigured anyway. So Peter was like, okay, that looked like when I was there, it looked like that person, but I'm going to be for sure. Bid me to come. And that was all it was about. So Peter was already aware of
supernatural stuff. Okay, so the supernatural was never like how did we get there? And the answer is real easy. Greek mythology. This proves even more so how Lucifer stole the identity of y'all's people through philosophy. Philosophy has blinded the eyes of the innocent and blind the eyes of majority of the people in the world today. Lucifer had a plan. And again, do you see Yahusha teaching here? The
importance of walking on the water.
The importance of walking on the water and the importance of multiplying fish. Absolutely not. But the Greeks got a hold of it and became superior in talking about the philosophy behind the fish.
Yeah, because they wanted to do that.
Yeah.
That's why it became a philosophy. They wanted to know how to do that. So whatever they wanted to know how to do,
they added these weird stories to.
Yes.
And then it got down, and then when it got into America, Lucifer just, all you got to do is just touch the right person. And all of a sudden, philosophy became revelation. Philosophy became, he anointed. Now
that's faith.
Yeah, that's faith. Yeah. Now faith calls that.
Right.
And the revelation behind that. Did you see that, girl?
Right.
And all along, Yeshua ain't said a doggone thing about it.
It wasn't even important.
It wasn't even important. So they were following the philosophies of men.
Now, when we continue to read, you will see what was important.
We'll see what's important. But philosophy definitely wasn't on the ticket.
Right.
And but through, again, the Christian book club promotes their own philosophy. I'll say that again. The Christian book club, which when I refer to the book club, you watch it for the first time, is that their whole truth is based on what King James said. Not anybody else said. And they're based on their own study, but then they don't research. They don't research because they don't know how to research.
And get mad at those that do.
They get mad at those that do. So they're into studying, but those that study will still remain dumb during the last days, because even though knowledge increases, their message remains the same. It's just a little twist here and there. So it's because they're not growing. And you can't grow if you're a wolf in sheep's clothing, and you can't grow if you're not a son of Yah or a daughter of Yah. Okay? So if you're growing as a son or a daughter of Yah, then your ears open up regardless of what man is speaking.
That's right.
Because you can read the truth for yourself. So, and philosophers never research words, phrases, names, statements, anything like that. They're just a philosopher.
Right.
He walked on the water at 8 o'clock at night. And he walked about 2.5 miles out into the water. And then I bet you the storm was acting this way, and the wind. It said wind, right? So that meant that it could have been spirit. They philosophers, and so that philosophy is what is inside of this story, is what's in the American story of Christianity, because they got their books and they promote their own philosophy, which was born through the Greeks, the Latins, and then later on the Russians and the Germans. And then this is why we have these J's in there, which were never there, and so forth and so on, and the changing of the names, the changing of this and that, because Satan is the perfect identity thief. He's constantly trying to steal.
Always. That was, honey, y'all give us exactly how Lucifer functioned. He was a liar.
He was a thief and a murderer. He gave you this. Oh, you don't need to say. You don't need to say nothing else. He's a liar and he's a thief and he's a murderer. So why would we not think this Joker would not try to steal our identity or steal our position? One of the things that irks me a lot about him is that he makes you think you're a believer. Mm-hmm. A son is never a believer. A son is a position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The posture.
It's a posture. It's not a belief system.
No. It is that it is.
He gotta. His kids gotta believe.
Yeah, right. You is.
You is.
You came in that I am that I am. You came out of that.
When Mama said, "I'm gonna push you out. I'll take you out. As you came in this world, I'll take your tail out this world too." Yeah. You know, that's because that don't make you a believer.
Right.
Okay. You flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. Right. Mm-hmm. That I don't need to believe that.
That's right.
I never ever would let somebody tell me I'm a believer. Right. You stupid if you think I'm going to believe what you just said. Mm-hmm. A son knows his posture and his position. And a daughter knows her posture and position. And ain't no daughter going to let some other girl tell her that you need to believe that's your daddy. Like, what? All right. It ain't going to work that way. But through philosophy, you believe all that crap. Okay, let's keep on going, guys. All right, so the emphasis. So what are we learning and what are we taking away? Okay, so where am I going with this? Does this philosophy stop in chapter 6? No. Yeshua is going to rebuke them in chapter 8. So in other words, the stories are just the stories of what happened. Like today, you and I we shall get off the network. And maybe you'll drive somewhere and you feel the wind, the cold wind, depending what country you're in, state you're in. Some might go to the water or you go to a restaurant and you'll see things, experience things, but those are things that you're just around. But you're not giving any instruction or insight or timing during that. So y'all's not even really talking here. He's saying, Jack, he ain't talking about him walking on water. Wouldn't that be a big subject? Like, man, do you check me out, man? Do you see me come across that water? Do you see how I was walking? You see how I was looking? You see that? See, I am the son of Yah. Why didn't he do that? He did it before. And again and again. And it's no big deal because he did it in the first earth age. Why wasn't it a big deal? When he got back to the other side, talk about, you see how I blessed that? You see how I did that? Why don't you believe that? He never put an emphasis. He never emphasized on his miracles because it was no big deal. But Christianity are philosophers. They emphasize, listen to me, they emphasize the stories, but not believing what he said. That is how you know. That's the difference between philosophers.
And we got exactly, and again,
Christian philosophy,
and philosophy came out of Greek.
Came out of Greek, Greek mythology. That's why they believe in all.
That's why you got physics in school. That's a Greek.
Yeah, physics in school.
Yeah, all that is tied in.
Tied in, and they stole that as well from Kemet. And then we don't go into that, but they stole all of that and how they did that, and everything they stole, they put philosophy behind it so that you
why they stole it.
No, the philosophy so you can't see how they stole it.
I know, I'm just saying, but that's what it really is. It's the philosophy on how they stole it.
How they stole it
by twisting you in a circle.
Twisting you in a circle while you watching TV, flipping through Christian channels, and all it is philosophy, Christian philosophy on their famous book club.
Yes, right? Exactly. You're correct.
Yeah. And then so, but you're gonna y'all out of this whole transition from the feeding and walking on the water. He only made 2 statements after that. He really only made 3 statements total.
All right.
And the last one is the most important one. And it just goes right over the head of anybody, because once that philosophy gets onto you, you can't think about nothing else but how he walked in the water and how he fed the people. And maybe if I copy that, I can get the same thing. And that's what we're saying. And that's why the philosophers are very good on television, what they call them, marathons, pay-a-thons,
Yes.
promote-a-thons, whatever they do, like they're doing right now, give money for Israel and all that kind of crap. They're out there promoting all of that. And then they turn around, and when you start talking about Yahusha, they turn around and say, you act like an Israelite.
And I'm still trying to figure out.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they'll say. It switches totally asinine. It's crazy. It's crazy. Am I right? Y'all give me some feedback, please. Yeah, am I right? Yeah. So anyway. All right. Hey, you guys, if you guys are texting some things down here, I haven't got a chance to look at it. But again, just in case, as I'm going through this and some people here are watching it new, we had not got off course from the first chapter why we got to chapter 6. Because remember,
We did,
remember in YAHUAH chapter 1, he talks about testify of the light. So all we're doing is seeing the effects of the light, which is Yahusha. As he's coming, he's doing these things that are supernatural, but they are normal. They're normal because they're done in heaven.
Yes.
And they were done during the first earth age. Yeah.
I like what Adrian said.
What's
that? She responded to Mikkel because she said, the philosopher wanted us to believe it was a miracle when it was what we were seeing, when it was really normal. That was a normal.
It was a normal process.
There was no miracle about it.
Yeah. And then the modern day church got a hold of it.
They made everything a miracle.
Yeah, and everything was, but the modern day church philosophers, they tried to make themselves special as an individual that has a certain type of gift that they only have, and they wrap the philosophy behind their ministry. Their ministry has this type of power, right? And that comes from Lucifer. Lucifer wants to be self-gratified.
Right.
He wants to be self-claimed, right? And in reality, it was Yahusha that did these things normal. It's no big deal.
It was no big deal.
It was no big deal.
That was the life of heaven.
That was the life of heaven. That's why he said, thy will be done. And that's what he said. And that's what John was saying. John was saying there's a light coming out of heaven, and whatever he's going to do, he's going to do like his father.
It ain't nothing different.
Ain't nothing different. Ain't nothing changed up. He just, because when he sit there and looked it up and blessed it, and he gave it to him, he sat down. He expected it to do what it was supposed to do. And then and then his comment was, I'm sure they was eating for a while. Did you hear anybody say, how'd you do that?
Right.
Nobody asked, how did you do that? But he himself knew what he was going to do. And when they was handing it out, it kept multiplying. Nobody stopped and turned back around and said, how in the heck is this being done?
They didn't care.
Nobody cared.
No.
And even when they were sitting back chilling, resting, nobody brought it up.
That's right.
The last thing Yahusha said is, hey, look, go get them baskets over there and make sure that they go ahead and fill it back again so we don't have any waste. The philosophers...
It's a beautiful thing. He even knew it was going to be leftover.
He knew it was going to be leftover. But the philosophers of today's time took that and said, it was 12 baskets. So that's the 12 tribes and the 12 this and the 12. All the philosophy kept going.
I don't think I read it in the Basora. It had a number behind it. I don't think it said 12 baskets.
Yeah, it says 12 baskets.
But how did it get 12 baskets?
Well, the philosophy. I'm just saying. But it's not even that. It's just the fact that they made messages, all types of messages, off of people just eating. And Yahusha never said nothing about the food, how it multiplied, nothing. Then these people they're so spooky, they still spooky in spooky mode that he goes to he's like, I got to get away from y'all because y'all trying to make me a king. I'm gonna go to the mountain. Okay, and we were there. It's not that far away, y'all. Okay, and they see him walking on the water, And he's like, look, man, stop tripping. Why y'all acting like being afraid? I mean, why are you frightened?
Exactly.
You know, notice after he said it, they didn't say, oh, well, we just wanted to make sure. They didn't say nothing. They didn't say anything when he said, why you tripping? Or, what? Be not afraid? You know, I don't even think he said, be not afraid. I bet you said, what are you doing?
I know. Some days I haven't.
Yeah, but you can see the posture. Here it says, it is I. Do not be frightened. Like, why where you getting that from?
Right.
Yeah. And then they said, okay, get on the boat. As soon as he got on the boat, they instantly went to the other side. So that instantly going to the other side was supernatural. They were used to supernatural stuff happening to them all the time when Yahusha was around. It was normal, people. And when the supernatural things happened, Yahusha never talked about it because it was normal. Now, let's go further. And what we're going to do is I think we're in verse 22. Is that where we stopped on? Let's go to verse 22.
You stopped on no. You're going to go to 22?
Yeah, praise-a-thons. Mikhail, let's look down. Praise-a-thon. Yeah, praise-a-thons and all them thons.
You can start at 23 because that's where you left off at.
23? Okay. So,
but it's got but first. That's the beginning.
All right, let's start on verse 22. We're going to go back over verse 22 again, and then we'll get down to where we're at. Okay. Verse 22. On the next day, the multitude that was standing on the other side of the sea that saw that there was no other boat there except the one which his pupils had entered, and that Yahusha had not entered the boat with his pupils, but his pupils went away alone. Verse 23. But other boats came from Kinnereth, which is the Sea of Galilee, and entered, near the place where they ate the bread. Now that had to be mentioned after Adonai had given thanks. Verse 24. Therefore, when the multitude saw that Yahusha was not there, nor his pupils, they themselves also enter into boats and came to Capernaum.
Basically,
Capharnaum.
Trying to find him.
Seeking Yahusha, looking for him. Verse 25. And having found him on the other side of the sea, they asked him, Rabbi, when did you get here? Questioning him. Yahusha answered them. Now watch what he says. Truly, truly, I say unto you, you seek me not because you saw the supernatural, because you ate of the loaves and were satisfied. Stop right there. Verse 26. He says, you're not seeking me because you saw some things supernatural.
You seeking me because of food.
Okay. My point exactly.
Oh, goodness gracious.
They're used to seeing the supernatural. Because both they're used to seeing supernatural because of witches and because demons and everything. Miracles were very popular back then. And Yeshua said, well, you ain't seeking me because you've seen something supernatural. But you were seeking me because your belly got filled up. Now he's not even he just putting them in their position. You ain't seeking me because of signs, wonders, and miracles right now, right?
Right.
But you seeking me because your belly got filled. So he letting them know two things. I know you know about the supernatural, so you ain't coming to me for that.
Right.
Because they looking at him like, you doing miracles? Okay, my Uncle Johnny do miracles. He over there drunk as a skunk over there, right? They're used to seeing miracles. Christians are not used to seeing miracles.
And the thing is, and we got to be very cautious with the word miracle.
Yeah.
Because the word miracle,
signs and wonders. Okay.
Yeah. No, only reason why because that wasn't a miracle.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't a miracle.
Yeah.
That they're used to seeing signs and wonders.
Yeah.
Or signs or different, whatever, magic.
Yeah.
Let's use the word magic. They used to seeing magic.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah. Anything that Jezebel, whatever, magic can do. That whatever. I'm using that word. But that's not a miracle. Yeah. All right.
Continuing.
Notice that Yahusha hasn't done any teaching yet.
Right.
So all of that, ain't no need to take any of that message or anything like that and teach on it.
Right.
For what?
Right. Because he smacked it down
He
and said,
smacked it that ain't nothing. Feeding 5,000, nothing.
No.
Walking on the water, nothing.
Right.
He squashed it.
Right.
There was no need to even talk
And
about
you
it.
got the nerve to get on your boat and come here and find me to ask me about some food.
From food.
I
Y'all
love
got
it.
that? Y'all
I
good.
love it. I'm telling you, that's my attitude. You got the nerve to roll on your boat over
But
here.
philosophy,
Yeah.
they're trying to find a
Exactly.
reason why things are happening.
And that's what I was going to get to approach me about your philosophy and your theory
Just make it simple.
about some food.
Yeah. Because the simplicity of the word is simple. You just read it for what it says. And you don't go beyond that. Well, I probably see, you see that. I see that. There's nothing else to see. You read it for yourself.
There is a key word. You saw signs.
You
You
saw
saw signs on how food showed
You
up.
saw, that's it.
And now you want to figure out how the food show up so you can do it. That's what basically they come to manipulate. Oh my goodness! If y'all don't, y'all is so awesome. He just exposes it so beautifully. It makes it so simple for us to see that the acts and the plays of how
He does.
Lucifer
It's just
uses
philosophy.
Yes.
Stay away from Christian philosophy and start making you make up stuff in your head that you think you're hearing and seeing and writing and all that. Just philosophy. Okay. Comes from bad habits of the book club. Now watch this. Let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
You see how he get frustrated? He just cuts me off.
yeah, I just got doggone frustrated. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, baby.
No, dude, I just laugh because it's funny.
Golly. Because it just irritates you, Okay.
Yeah, so it does irritate, but it's the philosophy of the book club causes you to fall back into certain things and say certain things and do certain things because it was so well manipulated into the psyche. You hear that? The psyche.
Yep.
That which is again a manipulation of Greek words, mythology. And it just gets in there, and sometimes you gotta
shake it out. You gotta get it out because you can hear it come out of you sometimes.
You can't.
Like you
what the
you
heck?
start asking yourself stupid questions, and you start making up stuff on your own, and
And then what happened to reading for what it says? Where do we get that we have to go beyond what it says?
and try to figure out.
Right. It says what it says. It is what it is. I mean, obviously you're looking for something different, but it ain't gonna be nothing different. If he said you're going to be this, you're going to be that.
Well, the thing is, again, he just wrote it down simple.
Yeah.
I fed these people.
Yeah.
The way they got fed is how we ate in heaven.
That's how we survive. That's our lifestyle.
And then me walking on water. Don't you think I walk on water when I was? It don't even. He ain't talking yet. Mm-hmm. Remember what you got to remember. What did Peter say when he said? He said, "Hey, all y'all leaving." Mm-hmm. You gonna leave too?
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't going nowhere.
Where I'm gonna go?
You have the words.
Yeah, because out there they ain't got no
you have the words of eternal life.
There is nowhere I can go to get the words that come out your mouth.
I can't go nowhere for what's coming out your mouth. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't paying attention to no boat. I ain't paying attention to Peter never brought up that fish again. How you fed that fish? I ain't gonna talk about that fish. He ain't never. There's no more stories about it. No. Trust me. If my black tail walked on water, I'm gonna tell everybody every day, 24/7.
Yeah, you would.
If you fed 20,000 people with a fish, with 2 fish sandwich, Yahusha should have had him books. He should have had his own internet. He should have had all kinds of stuff bragging about that. But it was common. The Greek philosophers got a hold of it and stuck that into and then the Christians got a hold of it, and Satan just ate they ate their butts alive, made them tell all these.
It's just so beautiful.
Money lies.
Yeah, because think about it. Everything Yeshua did was normal. He never bragged about anything. Even
normal.
picking that ear up and putting it back on.
It was normal for the supernatural, you guys.
Just think about it. Everything he did to him was normal. And to us it is too. Well, honey.
I can't. It's just so.
We're still on 20.
Let's go. 26. We're going back. Oh, but hey, let's take a break. We're going to come back. I got to talk to Queen. This is good. Are you guys getting into this? Wait till we come back, though. Woo! Woo! When we come back, it's going to be a doozy. So we're going to give those the opportunity to go to your Heavenly Father and they're giving and receiving right here on the broadcast. If this ministry, what we're doing, has been a blessing to you, and you can hear Yah speaking to you, if you would want to go to your giving and receiving, you can do that in just a moment. And when we come back, we got only 3 verses left. We're going to get into it. This is what you're going to see today. So, Kim and I'll be right back right after this.
Generations after generations keep praising you, yet no word sums you up. Then I asked the Lord, what name fits you? And he said, yeah. Generations after generations keep praising you, yet no word sums you up. Then I asked the Lord, what name fits you? And he said, yeah.
Father, we give you all the praise and the glory today. We thank you in advance for the windows of heaven being left over our lives. We praise you for it. In the name of Yahusha Hamashiach, we thank you. And let everybody say hallelujah. Okay, we are back, everybody. Mikhail, I got to say this. You said something, boy. Me and Kim was going at it, boy. Whoa. We was going at it. You said the philosophy, Christian philosophy, will have you question the existence of Yah and your existence. That is, shake my head is correct. It will. And that philosophy comes from that book club. Okay, because that's all you hear today is philosophy. You got to understand. Now, honey, can you read the definition of philosophy?
I sure could.
We're going to get her to read that to you guys. I wish we could put it on the screen, but philosophy. You got to understand that philosophy was where the root of it is in the majority of what we see in today's society, especially in Christianity. Philosophy is also in politics. Philosophy is in a lot of things, but yeah, there's one thing that philosophy is not, where it's not. It's not coming out of y'all's mouth. Philosophy does not come out of our Father's mouth. Philosophy doesn't come out of Yahusha. Never did, never will. Nothing they do has to do with philosophy. That's all Greek mythology. But America is based on a lot of philosophy and a lot of ideas. And so, all right, what does it say?
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Because you like teaching on each one.
All right, here it goes.
You can put it down.
A philosopher is a person who offers views, or theories, oh my goodness, on profound questions in ethics, metaphysics, logic, or related fields. I mean, look at that. Views or theories. A theory of what he did on the water. Well, he probably did this. Maybe the water was cold. I bet you underneath the water you saw a big fish. Maybe that's the fish that had the gold in his mouth. That's right. You know what? He walked over the fish, and then while he was walking over on the water right there, that's when he put his foot on top of the fish, and since his feet made out of brass, the gold popped in the mouth. You know.
I can't with him.
Oh my goodness. Let me see what else. A person that's very versed in philosophy, you can get to the point like that based on the Christian Book Club. A person who is established in the central ideas of some movement. A Christian movement, you create philosophy because Christianity is a movement. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They think that everybody's going to be Christians in heaven. Mm-hmm. Wrong. A person who regulates their life, actions, judgments, utterances by the reasoning of philosophy. Wow.
That's a
A
wow.
person who is rationally, sensibly calm, especially under trying circumstances. An alchemist or an occult scientist. Mm-hmm. That's who a philosopher is. Mm-hmm. So they're like an occultist. So it's a philosopher. Alchemist is a very popular word right now among the youth. They believe that they are philosophers. So you'll see alchemists, and they even do movies about it. Yeah. So there you go. Philosopher is what we see. It is also under the word teacher. It devotes itself to philosophy. It is one who is wise. It's a person that devotes themselves to an occult, a person who establishes the ideology of a cult or movement, philosopher. And that's where you get the Greek mythologies where philosophers, they were philosophers of what, and this is what King James was attracted to, the philosophers, because he knew that he was a king, and during that time the philosophers, philosophers, this is where you get all the popes come out of this, and these kingdoms, and it's all tied in to the Christian Book Club is where it's tied in at. Whether they want to admit it or not, we would have never known unless y'all breathed on us, y'all. That is how we know. And COVID helped us out. It put us in a place where we could study and research. I cannot emphasize the word research more so. Because all that studying that we did, it just still kept us ignorant. It still kept us lost. It still kept us in bondage. It kept, okay, I won't say us. Let me go ahead and do this. I'll just say me. I'm okay with saying me. It kept my tail in bondage. It kept me, Mark. I'm just talking to Mark. I ain't talking to nobody else. I'm saying us and we. It kept me in bondage. Studying kept me in bondage because the way I studied hard. I studied by reading chapter to chapter, verse. I'm studying everything, and study didn't do jack for me, but kept me under the grip of Lucifer because I was only studying his material.
Studying and research is two different things.
But when y'all breathed and said, you better go check my name out.
Studied. We studied the book of King James. We studied it.
We studied the book of King James.
We never researched that book.
We never researched that book or why it was saying what it was saying.
Right. There's a difference.
When I started researching it, I started putting myself in check.
Right.
And that research made me love y'all more. Mm-hmm. See, I was like, because when I found something wrong, it didn't push me away from my Father.
That's right. Woo! It drove me closer to him.
Ha!
It just said,
yeah, when it didn't push me away, it gave me. It's like It's like somebody trying to take you away from your natural father and your natural mother, and and when you find that, it becomes not only you offended, not only you're not offended like like a coward. You ready to put these dogs on somebody, and you see. I can't even describe him on public camera right now. When you see this guy that did this is the man. Oh, you're something that goes on the inside of you that you can't describe it. You can't help somebody else see it, because unless y'all breathe on them, they cannot see it themselves. And the reason why they can't see it because they won't research. And they won't research because they willfully want to remain ignorant. And that's on them. And some of them ain't going to research because they're just wolves in sheep clothing.
Yeah, because mom and them and daddy and them did it.
The mom and them, daddy and them.
Yeah.
And they don't care about researching because they're not interested, okay? But if my people are called by my name.
Who are called by my name will do the research.
They're going to do the research.
The word seek is research. Seek out. Seeking is a form of researching.
You know what? And I remember, if you look at the word seek, you gotta. I used to, when I was a little kid, I read this book, even though it was a fictitious book. It was called Blackbeard the Pirate. He was Blackbeard the Pirate.
Go on a quest. That's what it means.
Yeah, to go on. That's what I say. Blackbeard the Pirate. Say it again.
Go on a quest.
Go on a quest of. So Blackbeard the Pirate. It was a fictitious book I read in 4th grade. And when I started looking at the word seek, it meant to go in quest of, like how a fisherman sets his sail out in the ocean to go capture all this fish to bring it back. And he's gotta do a lot to go out there to seek that fish. Imagine it's like going into the middle of the ocean and you're seeking for one fish. What would you do? How would you prepare? What would you do? What would you study? What would you go through? And while you were out in the ocean, what would you be researching in your head? You couldn't be studying anything because that's old stuff. You got to be looking at current stuff. So when you search, you got to look at the signs of the times and everything. That's why the seals are so important. That's why a seal is, I'm going to say it again, the seal is important. Because every time you get to a place of research, you get sealed. I'll say it again. Every time you get to a certain place of research, why? Because when the information comes up, it seals you. Why is it still important? Because when Lucifer shows up on the 6th trump, you got to make sure you got them seals. This is so good.
It is. I started meditating. The seeking is to go on a quest. So when seeking him, he said, seek after, search after. Don't allow another to be the voice for me.
How can you go?
Yes.
How can you just honestly, even in the Basora, okay? You can't just stop here. You got to go beyond the pages.
That's right.
You got to look and see, and you got to go find other sources, not religious sources. Just, okay, if I want to research basketball, I don't go to the Bible.
That's right. You go where it first started, and you go and you start from where it first started and work your way.
Work your way around it. If I want to research any subject in the world, I don't usually go to the subject. I go around it. If you want to research heart disease, you don't research heart disease.
Right.
You know?
Right.
They're like, okay, what caused it?
Right. Because the heart.
Heart. I don't need to research heart disease. What caused it? Food. Okay, I go research food.
How that food functioned with that heart.
There you go. There you go, girl. Oh, I forgot we on the air.
I know we both 30.
You heard about the goat. Okay, let's so now we're gonna dig. Let's go. We're in verse 26 now.
Yeah, we're going to 26. We're on the
go ahead.
left side of the page. So
Okay, yeah, we'll be on the left side. So we're just talking to those that came back with us today. Again, welcome back to the program. We are talking about the book of YAHUAH, chapter 6, and we're seeing all these nuggets in there. Now, remember, when you start off with YAHUAH, he talks about how to be born from above and how he came to testify about this light. So Yeshua right now is exposing all Satan's traps and the things that he did normal, which was supernatural things. And they were commonly done, and there was no big issue. And then the philosophers got behind these scenarios like feeding the 5,000. All of a sudden, it was titled. He didn't care if it was titled. It's not important. They noticed that they titled the events, but not titled his statements.
That's it right there. Write that down.
Yeah, they titled the events, but not his statements, because they didn't want you to trust his statements. They want you to come with philosophy behind his events. Okay, and so we got trapped. We got tricked.
That tells you what.
I got tricked.
Yes, that tells them how to study. Go study the statement, and you'll find the answer.
And you go find the answer. Yeah.
Not study the title and the events.
Title don't mean jack. It don't, and I didn't say it like that, but the title don't mean crap. The 5,000 being fed, that's nothing.
Title the events.
That's totally irrelevant to his assignment. That was just to show you that he could do what he's doing, and that his will is being done on earth as it is in heaven. But that ain't it. That ain't it. But watch it. What we're gonna do is watch what was important. Verse 26, YAHUAH. He's still exposing everybody, people. Let's follow him along. Here is Yahusha, and here's what he says. Yahusha said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, you seek me not because you saw signs, but because you ate of the loaves and were satisfied." Now, here is his teaching. This is what it should have said right here. Verse 27. After all that, here's what he says. Do not labor for the food that is perishing, but for the food that is remaining to everlasting life. That quote right there should have been the title of this book. Just basically,
The focus is, what is this everlasting life you talking about?
Yeah, so now you should be zooming in on the everlasting life. And he tells you what it is, which is the son of Adam, not the son of man.
Yep.
Why is that important? Because King James took this out and put the son of God, right? But the son of Adam, why is that important? Because the son of Adam is the second son. Remember the first son during his 6th-day creation, and now we have 8th day. So which the son of Adam shall give you. For the Father, he's going to describe the Father, Elohim. Why do you put Elohim here and not YAHUAH? Because the Father is the creator. Okay? The Father, the creator, has sent his seal on him. Come on back. Come on back. Didn't we just talk about seals? So he has set his seal on him. So every time he talk, he give us a sealing.
Glory to Yah.
Slap my head, just slap.
I won't slap it, I'll touch it.
Woo! He put his seal on us. The seal is on him. Whatever he say is how we get sealed. Whatever he do from what he says, that's how we get sealed. Let me say that again. Whatever he say is how we get sealed. The philosophers want you to focus on not what he said, but what he did. Because if you focus on what he did, they can put their own philosophy to it.
That's right. And keep you in that spell.
And keep you spinning around and spinning around. You spin me right round. You're a spinner.
Spin you, boy.
You're a spinner. That's what Lucifer like doing.
Yeah. Because why?
Keep you in bondage.
He's a master.
He's a liar. He's a thief. And he's a murderer.
And Yeshua put on, and he's a master at deception.
Deception. He's a master of deception.
So he keeps you in the deception state. He'll
yeah, and you keep making crap up. What about this? What about this? Well, you think he said this? You think he was going through that? You think he's going through that? And then you get over there and be stupefied. Like, I remember you said the spirit is stupid, okay? Yeah, it come up on you. Just be like, you just stupid.
You arrested that years ago?
The spirit is stupid. Gosh.
I know. But you know, hon, it's just I keep going. It's just right here. It's so simple.
It's so simple. and everything I'm telling you is already here.
He said, "Look, you need to focus on everlasting life. You worry about some food.
You worry
about the water, walking on
because
water."
the Creator has set His seal on him.
Yes.
So everything that he does, or not does, everything he says will seal you. Like his words are eternal life. Not him, not him eating a hamburger.
No.
Not him eating a fish sandwich. Not him walking on water. That's nothing, y'all. Nothing. No, don't even
everlasting life is what is the statement he said.
So that's the first statement.
Yeah. So put that one. That's something you can search out.
Okay. All right. So now let's look at the next two verses.
Okay, let's go.
So they said to him, they didn't even pay attention to that last statement. Verse 28. What should we do to work the works of our Creator? Or, the works of Elohim. Okay, come back now. So now they're asking the question, what should we do? Remember, he's going to talk about, he's going to give them seal language. And here's what he says. Because they want to know the works of Elohim.
This is what it says.
And Yahusha, verse 29, answered and said to them, this is the works of Elohim.
Oh, come on.
That you believe in him whom he sent. Stop there. Did he say anything else other than that?
He didn't say nothing else.
Why did he say that? Why did he say for you to go out there and try to convince everybody about him? Why didn't he say that you need to build this and do this building and do that building? What he didn't say. What did he? Wait a minute. What? This is the works of Elohim. This is what he said. He said the works of Elohim. Here's what he didn't say. The works of Elohim is that you lift up the bread, bless it, and multiply it whenever you do it. And the works of Elohim is that you can get out there and walk on that water. When your faith gets strong enough, you can walk on water. And when your faith's strong enough, you can get healed. And when your faith's strong enough, he can put all those things around it. He never said that. He said, here is the works of Elohim. That you believe on the person that he sent, which is me. Why? Because that's the seal. All I got to do is believe on who's the person that he sent.
That's right.
Yahusha.
So this is a whole statement that you go research. Because now you got to figure out who he talking about.
Yeah, who's he talking about?
Who's he that he sent?
Who's he that
he making you go seek?
Who's he
Yes.
that he sent?
Yeah.
He sent Yahusha, not Jesus.
Yes.
He didn't send no Jesus. He never sent Jesus. Satan sent Jesus. But he sent Yahusha. So go find out who Yahusha is.
He even helped you. He gave you a little snippet. Elohim. So you need to go find out what the work of Elohim.
And who he sent
to who him is, and then who him he sent.
You find out who Elohim is, and you won't find Elohim you won't say, oh, that's his name. That's not his name.
Yeah.
Because the way he talked about it, he said the Creator. The Creator's name is YAHUAH. And YAHUAH sent what he created, which was Yahusha. And Yahusha showed up and said, you need to believe on him whom he sent. Seal. Got it? That's what they're asking for. They ain't talking about no fish sandwich. Ain't talking about him walking on no water.
So what y'all worried about? That
ain't even it. That ain't even close to being it.
Really close to being it.
Now, why did he say this? Because there's got to be something else to compare us to it. It is John chapter 1. You know what? Can you scroll back? Go to chapter 1. Hold on. Go to chapter 1. No, you could have just, all you have to do is just roll it down like that. Yeah, go all the way there. Just pull it down. Just pull it down. No, yours goes left to right.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to John chapter 1. And we're going to see that same statement, y'all. Go to verse 12 in John chapter 1. Let me see.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm ready.
It
would be.
It's
at the bottom right.
Go to John. She's going to go to John chapter 1. I'm going to show you guys this. Okay, verse 12.
It's bottom right. Okay.
Bottom right? Okay, let's read this. Here's where he got that statement from. Verse
12, you said.
I'm going to start here in verse 10. It says, and he was in the world, and the world came. And the reason why I'm starting at verse 10, because we already went to verse 1 on this, guys. And he was in the world, and the world came to be through him, and the world did not know him. And he came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the authority to become, next page,
Okay.
the children of Elohim. Wait, this. Why did it say the children of Elohim and not the children of Yahuwah? Because he's talking about creation.
Believing the one that created.
Believing the one that created, yeah. And it backs it up right here.
It backs it up right here.
And then watch this. To those believed in his name.
Just repeated this again.
To those believing in his name. To those believing in his name. His name's capitalized right there. Then it tells you how. Who were born
Not.
or begotten, not of blood. Ain't no dang on bloodline. Jew bloodline, it don't got nothing to do with that. Nor the desire of the flesh. I mean that you can't even accept. Nor the desire of man. In other words, I want you to get saved today. That's philosophy.
Yeah.
But of Elohim. And the word became fleshed. Picture 10 among us, and we saw, watch this, his esteem. The esteem as an only begotten of the Father, complete in favor and truth. And Yahuwah bore witness of him and cried out. That's it. That's it. So that is why we go back over here. You guys are getting this now. To verse 29. Okay, you guys getting this? All right. Verse 29. And he answers here. John chapter 6, verse 28. And Yahusha answered and said to them, this is the work of Elohim, that you believe in him whom he sent.
Like, keep repeating itself.
It keeps repeating itself. Yohanan, when Yohanan laid that out in chapter 1 and Yeshua showed up, all he doing is fulfilling.
He said it.
I came to fulfill.
All I did was come to fulfill.
Whatever-
What the forefathers had
Whatever it
talked about.
said. It said. John talked
Ain't
about
nothing changed?
ain't nothing changed.
Y'all want something to change.
Y'all want some change. Philosophy.
Yeah, but ain't nothing gonna change.
Philosophy.
Ain't nothing gonna
But you know, girl, I want to talk about that. I definitely want to talk about how he walked on the water and how he fed the 5,000. And maybe the bread went into the water and they floated up on top of the water. I just think some bread got on the water.
Oh, don't take me to Eddie Murphy's movie. Coming to America. Well, yeah, the fact that he was dealing with them daggone
Greek mythologists,
Christians back then.
Christians back then. He was dealing with them Christians back then and Greek mythologists because they was like, well, how'd you get over here? How'd you do that?
And it's always about how come you didn't go to our school?
How come you didn't do? How come you got over here so fast? How'd you get? And notice that they didn't even ask the disciples.
They didn't ask the disciples nothing.
Disciples got over there supernatural. They didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
They had their own.
It's always that right there.
Yeah. How'd you get that? How'd you do that? How'd you do over there? How'd that happen? The disciples like, well, he just got on a boat and we just shot on over here. It's supernatural. So it was something that was always common.
But he could have, Yeshua could have said.
Peter could have came on glue, but he just didn't.
Yeah, Yeshua could have easily said, it's only 10 feet. It's only 10 miles wide. Y'all act like it's like 2,000 miles wide.
Y'all like it ain't only though. You know, it's only 10 miles wide and about 5 miles deep.
Or something like that.
At its deepest point. I mean, at its widest point. 5 miles. But most of it's about 3 miles, 3 to 4 miles.
It's just funny how they...
And it's a lake.
It's a lake. They act like it's some middle of the ocean.
They're like it's the Atlantic Ocean or something.
I just could imagine. I know he said, I can't with y'all. I just can't.
Yeah.
The ignorance of people will make you just, have to bite your tongue so much.
But notice here, Yohanan
You want
is
me to go
following what John
Yes.
has been talking about. And John himself, Yeshua turns back and points to John's word message, because you see the harmony between them,
Right.
just flowing, just.
Because nothing, no instructions have changed
Not starting.
from the beginning.
From the
Nothing,
beginning.
nothing
Nothing's
has
changed.
changed. When y'all spoke, that was it.
And then when John came in
All they do
to
is
fulfill the light, John said, and Yeshua said, I ain't come to change nothing. I'm just following what they all talking about.
So how did we get into this centuries?
Where stuff
Now,
is all
we
crazy and
gotta
different.
change- everything's
And some got to be different and new, and
Yeah.
y'all doing a new thing. And so it's because you want to create something.
Yeah.
Because that was Satan's his biggest word in heaven, the first earth age, was there got to be something different than what y'all's doing. So they started pitching that. Lucifer pitched that, and that's what caused the cannibal in the first earth age. The strike was
Yes.
change and new and different, and follow my philosophy because God got his, or excuse me, because y'all got his and I want my own, and y'all can follow me, and his tail got kicked out.
And then they took it from the can't put OY and then the new cycle. They took that little thing, and that was.
And he never talked about that. So remember, that if I can leave you with this today, we can leave you with this today. Philosophy comes behind what Yahusha never talked about.
Comes behind titles and events.
Titles.
Philosophy is based on
I was gonna say subject.
Yeah.
But on events.
That's what I'm saying. Events
that have occurred
that they put titles to.
Yes.
Exactly.
And when they put titles to it, you study that title in your Bible.
And you'd be lost. You'd be in that
And you'd
suck-
be
you'd be
lost
that-
and
you'd be
sucked
that-
to you.
you'd be
They were
that-
good at it though.
They was good at
They
it.
was very good. They didn't tell you to focus on what he said. But this is what he did. Kind of like how jacked up the courts are today. Look, this is what he did. This is what they do. No matter what you said, it's what you did.
They don't want you to focus on a statement.
I want you to focus on the statement.
They just want you to focus on the event.
Yeah.
Because the event they want you to be more focused on, because that's where they win at.
That's where they win. That's where they can do his
because
lying.
they can manipulate
They can manipulate the event.
what happened in the event.
Yeah. Because they can make it up.
Yeah, they make.
They make it up and they come up with their own theory. And it's hard.
Let's not fight each other
Yeah,
over
yeah.
that.
Because it's hard to deny.
I'm loving this.
Because
It's so
it's hard to
good.
deny the event happened. You can't
Yeah.
say it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But the fool talking to you can make you believe
the word. The statement is the statement.
Statement.
That-
and Yahusha, when he make a statement, you can't change that.
He said, "Everlasting life, and the son of Adam." If you don't remember anything else, you
Son of
need to-
Adam, everlasting life. Right?
And then he goes into, you better remember the work of Elohim
The work of Elohim is that.
and believe in him
The work of Elohim is this.
who sent he.
I'm making it real simple for you. Is that you believe in the one he sent. Oh, can you say something else? That you believe in the one he sent. Is there anything else? No. Philosophy don't like working with that statement.
No, because they can't add to it.
You can't add to it. Or
But if they could do it with an event, you can add to events.
you can add it. Yeah. You can come up with all kinds of crazy stuff about that water.
Yeah.
You come up with all kinds of crazy stuff about how he fed people. But they got to realize he never even commented on it. It was not even important. Besides, go get some baskets and get the extra food. And that's probably because there'd be rats going all over the place. You don't never know.
Right.
You know, whatever the philosophy is, they're gonna try to make philosophy out of it.
They're gonna make philosophy. But he said, just stick to my statements.
We done, y'all.
We is done for today. We thank you for tuning in.
Today was good.
Today was awesome.
Y'all learn anything?
Give us some feedback. Give us some stuff. We'll take a few more minutes. It's okay.
We'll take a few more minutes.
And I know it's a minute, like a minute or two.
We have to wait like a minute.
Yes.
Because there's about a minute delay.
So we want you guys to give us some bullet points that you either got a question or you got a statement that you heard that you wrote down. Let us know. We want to know. What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm smiling. We're out to get ready to do a photo.
Yeah. So
Because it's in delay.
yes. It's just awesome, guys. It's awesome. I love the simplicity, because the simplicity means I don't have to drain my spirit in my research. my spirit is not drained. So when it's the simplicity of what he's saying is so simple that when you begin to research, it's excitement, because now it's like, oh, everlasting life. Man, I can't believe it was worried about some food. But you got people today that still be worried about some food. They worried about what they're gonna eat after service. They planning their food right now, sitting in service. They already planning what they're gonna go eat. They already plan where they're gonna go eat. They can't wait till service is over, but they just focus on tangible things. People are just that way. They don't focus on. Some just don't focus on certain things, but that's the Christian book life. That's what happens.
The Christian book life. Woo!
And I'm glad.
The Christian book. Go ahead.
I'm just glad I've been withdrew myself in the club.
I ain't in the club no more. I guess that's why y'all don't. I guess that's why they don't call me. See ya.
There's a lot in that laugh, boy. I can tell you right now.
Yeah, they don't call me no more. They used to call me all the time, but that's because I was stuck in that Christian blood club with them. Mm-hmm. Being I like to say, dumb, just dumb. Oh, I can't say that no more. Okay.
No, I said put your picture. Huh? No, to be in this everlasting life is a price. And what was the price? Persecution. I don't care. You could talk about me all day. You could write books about me. At the end of the day, I could care less.
I'll help you spell my name right, though.
I could care less because your words have no authority.
No authority.
So it doesn't bother me. It don't bother me at all. That's funny. Just don't roll up in me and roll up in my face.
Just don't roll up on me. Don't point in my face.
We cool. Don't touch. We good. Other than that, I'm enjoying myself. This harvest life and this life of, you don't realize how free my brain.
I know, my head, my brain. But you know what? And Monday I'm just going to describe what we've been through, mm-hmm. and maybe that story also will bless many people. But I want to tell you, going through that for these last 25 plus years has been an amazing journey. Now, I will say, I am so glad that y'all allowed us to go with what the book club calls the top.
Yeah, they call it what
they call the top. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that y'all allowed me to experience what the book club called the top mm-hmm. of the game. And I got to experience that with relationships, mm-hmm. with behind the scenes. I'm glad I got to go through all of that at any possible level. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad I got beat up like he beat my tail up, because the only thing he did is not only thing that Lucifer did in that process. That joker do not. I'm telling you right now. Once I got free, my mind got sober. Y'all gotta understand that. That's different. Once I got free, my mind got sober. Mm-hmm. That is the worst person Lucifer don't want to deal with. A sober mind in a natural body. Just imagine at the 7th trump, a sober mind in your supernatural body. I think me and Michael are going to have a problem about whooping his tail. Because we physically can't beat him in a physical body. That's why y'all said, don't worry about it. Yeah. Vengeance is mine. I got you. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I got you. I said, well, that 7th trump, I'm going to be in my supernatural body now. So, hey, I might slap him upside the head too. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, let's read a couple of these here. Dr. Rosetta, I think you wrote a couple of them in here, but let's look at what you said. The first one, my daughter, Lauren said, Christianity now looks like a cult to her. Mm-hmm. I believe that.
And it's so full of hate. For them to say they did whatever the heck they're full of hate. Who are you going to want next?
Carlita says, it is a parable. Okay, if it's a parable, it will say so. Other than that, I need to read it for what it says and don't try to make it so deep.
That's right.
Dr. Rosetta says, that's right. Don't roll up on me now. You will be carried away.
I'm trying to tell somebody. The pre-warnings is real.
Adrian said,
Wait.
Yeah, Adrian said, yeah, and carried away in a stretched out position.
Oh, I didn't get that. It didn't come through yet. That part.
In a stretched out position.
Okay. That's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
I like she said we had to go through it to get to the truth. That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah, the truth is it becomes more precious after the battle.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that the value of where we've been would be here without where we've been.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as you don't wish somebody to go through that, I'm really glad that I did. I'm so happy that I did. But it was really an agonizing battle. Part of it was what I say agonizing is that you were deceived in what you even thought was a breakthrough. Looking in hindsight, that wasn't a breakthrough. That was the plan of the enemy to keep that carrot dangling and making sure that you stayed there. What do we got now?
Allie, she said, "Oh, it didn't pop up yet."
Her thing was seek first and be sealed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's it. Seek first and be sealed. Because when it's I love seeking and searching out because it's beneficial to where I'm headed in my land of harvest. You got to understand, land of harvest. That means there's so many places you could go in that land. It's not like it's just you're right there and that's all you got. No, you got so many things you could be a part of in that land that it's just like, you ain't got to seek no miracles in that land. You ain't got to seek nothing. All you got to do is enjoy and pick up. Pick up. You see a fruit that's been harvested, pick it up and eat it. You know, it's a beautiful thing. Yes, dear.
Enjoy your week, guys. Enjoy your next few days until we get together again. When we come back next week, He's going to deal with the people that are seeking signs and wonders. But this is all because of what he dealt with based on what YAHUAH John taught. He's going to follow that.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to follow, and this is what's good. He's even subject to his own word.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have done way a lot more, but he's following what John taught. So every time John taught, he goes fulfill. John taught, he fulfills. John taught, he fulfilled. When John's head got cut off, then he walked. Then he started fulfilling. He made sure he fulfilled everybody in hindsight. Moses, he was just David. Mm-hmm. He was just fulfilling everything they said. He was mirroring what they said. Mm-hmm. But when he get to chapter 8, he gonna chop their tails up. That's what he gonna do. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So with that,
until next time.
Yes.
Mark and Kim reminding you that if you be in the Mashiach, then you are Abraham's seed in the heir, according to the promise. We thank you for subscribing and joining us here on this network today. Enjoy your family. Kim and I love you. Can't wait to see you again next time. Bye-bye.